All right, welcome everyone to the All-In Fantasy Basketball Podcast. This is Dan, and I have my friend Max here. We're going to talk about some stuff going on in the NBA. All right, so I guess one of the big things that happened recently, Max, you probably know, everyone knows about this already. Kobe retired. He announced his retirement for the end of the season. What are your thoughts on that?
Um, I think it is about time, definitely. He's been around the league for a very long time, and unfortunately, I did not start watching basketball when he was at the height of his prowess, but I did catch a tail end of his back-to-back championship, so that was pretty cool. And then I guess I didn't know enough about basketball to understand like how kick-ass he was during that period of time.
Yeah, he was definitely like a crazy scoring machine. It was
Yeah,
so tough to guard him, and like he'd always shoot these off balance 3 pointers, and you always wonder like how the hell they go in, but
yeah.
they just go in every single time. It's
I
weird.
like I really like how the Lakers they run triangle offense
Hmm.
until Kobe gets the ball and then they just go into like really basic screen and roll, pick and
Isolation,
roll. Yeah, isolation and then or really basic screen and roll. And
right?
it's like they talk about how Phil Jackson runs triangle really well and it's like how complicated and like how effective it is. And then once Kobe gets the ball, no, just let him do whatever he does. More efficient than a triangle offense.
Right. And the interesting thing too is that like Kobe, he's such a durable player. Um, like I think for 3 years straight, he was playing with all these nagging injuries and
Yeah.
everything, broken finger, and he just played through everything. And it's only until the recent 2 or 3 years where these injuries are really killing him, and he had to take some time off, especially with the Achilles tear, right?
Yeah, as far as I remember, I actually don't think Kobe has taken more than like 3, 4 games off since I've like started following the game, so definitely pretty durable.
Yeah, and the thing is, he started playing in the NBA at such a young age,
Yeah, that's
and
even more surprising because he's had like I don't know, like 4 or 5 more years of like wear and tear.
exactly like if you look at the numbers of how many seasons he's played, it's like 20 seasons,
Yeah,
which that is a lot. But then when you look at his actual age, like there's players that are older than him and playing longer than him. Um, I think what Steve Nash played until 39, or even
I think Steve Nash was until 39. I mean,
Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd played
yeah, Jason Kidd like
pretty
pretty
late,
much played till he was 40.
40 or something. Yes. So I mean,
MJ played till he was 40, but then he took a couple of seasons off here and
yeah,
there.
he retired a bit trying to play basketball.
Like
I mean
had an
baseball.
extended vacation. That would help.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, he's still 37 years old, but like when you look at it that way, he has 20 years in the NBA. That's a lot of freaking miles on his legs.
Yeah,
And even just recently, in one of the games he had to ask to be
yeah,
benched
subbed out.
because he didn't have the legs for it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty sad to see him go out this way, but I guess it's time, right?
I mean, being a NBA player, the only way you go out is if you suck or if you get old. And okay, three. I think there are 3 ways to get out. It's either you suck, you get shipped off to China, you get shipped off to Europe, or you have a God forbid like a career-ending injury or like a nagging injury. So looking at you, Brandon Roy, or you
Or Greg Oden.
yeah, Greg Oden. No, Greg Oden's playing in China right now. Apparently, he's putting up like really good numbers, but obviously he's a big guy in China. But yeah, and
And
then the third way is like you transition your game and then you slowly lose your legs and you slowly lose your breath and then you just go out that way. And that's probably the most glorious way to go out. I mean, you can't explode for like 81 points, hit a game-winning shot in Game 7 in the finals, and then just announce retirement. People usually don't do that. So
right, and he's actually just not doing bad this year too. Other than his like really bad field goal percentage,
mhm.
I mean his stats are pretty up there. They're not that bad at all.
uh, it's
You're
like
not going to see him on the free agency or the waivers on in your fantasy
no,
league. Somebody's
yeah.
got.
he I do feel bad for him. I mean, like he's still there, but the team's not there with him anymore. They are going into their whole rebuilding
Right.
stage. I think they have enough young pieces. I mean, like I don't think they're tanking anymore. They're just developing young pieces. But yeah, like his team has ditched him in the dust already. But he's just still there, like putting up numbers. So like that's okay. I think he knows it himself. But then like
he's still a Laker
Yeah.
for life. Like
Yes.
that's gonna be the thing. Like even if he's not playing with him, he's gonna be part of the organization. So
Yeah.
that's a good thing. Now, in regards to the Lakers, like who do you think is gonna be the next guy up? Do you think it's gonna be Julius Randle that they're gonna have carry the weight?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Julius Randle. I think Jordan Clarkson is a nice, surprising young player to come out of obscurity. Actually, I don't know much about Jordan Clarkson until he like started putting up numbers
Right.
with Jeremy Lin when during his time in Lakers. But then like to me, Jordan Clarkson has always been very obscure, and he's like getting a little bit of attention right now. And it's like good to see.
Yeah, and he's playing really well alongside D'Angelo Russell as well too.
Yeah.
And the thing is, though, after this season, people are thinking that they're gonna try to recruit some players to LA. A couple of names that have been thrown out there recently were
DeMar
they're gonna try
DeRozan.
to. Oh yeah, I didn't even hear about that one.
I don't know. I'm on Reddit. Everyone wants every Lakers fan wants DeMar DeRozan to go back home.
He is from LA though,
Yeah, he's
so
from Compton. Yeah.
that makes sense for sure. But would he leave? Would he leave Toronto to go to the Lakers? I mean, he doesn't have a bad team in Toronto, and he enjoys it here.
I I don't know. Going home is always a apparently it's a very big draw, and there's more reason. Like there's, I think after Toronto, I do think he's gonna stay in Toronto at least for a little bit more, especially when they're in the height of like, especially when the Toronto team is kind of like tearing out, like literally tearing it up in the East right now. If he's not resigning with Toronto, I could imagine him going to going home to LA Lakers.
I know there was some talk about this was a couple of years ago though, but obviously Kevin Love signed a 5 year. Is it 5 or 4 years? 5 years
I don't remember.
With Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
So he's pretty locked in there. But a couple of years ago, they were talking about Russell Westbrook and Kevin Love joining forces and going to the Lakers, which would have been pretty crazy. They're both from UCLA. And I think they still do want Russell Westbrook to come to LA, but is he going to leave Kevin Durant? Is Kevin Durant going to leave Oklahoma? I don't know.
Sucks to say this, but OKC is like, I think they missed their chance. I think they had the best chance when KD won the year KD won MVP, and then Russell was like tearing it up, and they still had James Harden. I think that they had a real chance there to like beat Miami Heat, but then it was that year. I remember listening to a podcast of Scalabrini, and he was talking about like LeBron James and how he just turned it on that postseason. I think they were like down a couple of games, and I forgot which series it was. I think they were facing Boston in that series. I don't remember, but it was basically that season where LeBron James just turned it on halfway through like the third round, and then he literally solidified himself as one of the greatest players of all time. And then he just like destroyed everything in his path. And unfortunately, prime KD, prime Russell Westbrook, and six-man James Harden, Ibaka, and the GOAT Perkins couldn't handle LeBron James.
If you think about it, though, like OKC had a really, really strong team. Like 4 of their players at that time, Ibaka, Durant, Westbrook, and Harden, they're all like arguably in the top 10 right now. Maybe Ibaka not top 10.
Ibaka not this year. Not this year, right. I think.
But the other 3, like top 10 easily, no discussion.
Yeah.
And I mean, if they played together, they could have done big things, I think.
Hey, you know which team also could have done big things? T-Mac and Vince Carter. There's a lot of what-ifs in the league.
T-Mac and Vince Carter. Even Kobe said, actually, that if T-Mac and Vince Carter were to actually stick together, they would have been playing in the finals the very following year. And then T-Mac decided to go to Orlando.
Yeah, it's a... Well, I mean, it's a what-if situation. I mean, I guess they took a gamble on Ibaka, and I'm not going to say it didn't pay off, but yeah.
Yeah, and I guess maybe they had too many guys that wanted to handle the ball with Harden and Westbrook, so...
Yeah, I think I think it was a good decision to put Harden on the bench as a 6-man. I think he flourished really well as a 6-man, and then in crunch time, they needed scoring from every single position. Then putting Harden Like
Right.
putting Harden in with Russell Westbrook and
In the
Kevin
fourth quarter.
Durant, then
Yeah.
that would be a pretty good combination. You know, on paper, I just at first I guess like it's changed a little bit right now, but it's just really hard to imagine like KD playing well with Russell Westbrook because KD is like a better version of Melo. Like in my mind, he's a better version of Melo. Melo used to be like the best pure scorer in the league until KD came in. He got moved from a shooting guard to a small forward, and then he tore it up. And it's just like two really ball dominant players playing together. And like it just doesn't like make much sense to me. But then they found a way to make it work. So I'm just not gonna comment with
Yeah.
my civilian knowledge.
And with speaking on that, like Westbrook and Kevin Durant, like you can't say who's number one and number two on the team. They're both number ones on the team.
Yeah.
Like they're both Batmans and Batmans. There's no Robin.
Yeah.
It's if there's any Robin, it's Ibaka.
Yeah. Like the
such
thing
a
I'm
difference.
most impressed about Westbrook is for someone who is constantly being claimed to have like no basketball IQ and like he doesn't pass that much. He's like,
He's reckless.
yeah, he's reckless, but he also still like he's a constant triple double threat. And like I admit, it's just I don't enjoy watching Westbrook. I acknowledge that he's a great player, but I just don't enjoy watching him. And I just sometimes I wonder how he averages 10 assists. I don't know if it's reckless, but like half the assists he gets, well, from the times I did follow OKC, it's not this season. I don't follow them that closely this season. Like he drives in the paint, gets stuck, and then he throws it out, and then someone
Right.
hits a three, and Durant hits a three because Durant can hit threes, and then that's an assist.
Yeah.
Happens 10 times a game, and there's your double double, or there's your triple double.
I actually I like watching him play actually because he plays with such like ferocity
Yeah.
and he plays so high energy every single play. Like he's going hard every single time, and that's why when he tore his ACL, I was like,
that was worrying.
like it's
that
gonna
was
happen.
Definitely worrying.
He's playing so hard. It's like when was he not gonna? It's just like a ticking time bomb, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like in regards to like annoying players to watch though, I have to say this. This is like the number.
I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say.
Yes, I have an issue with this guy. I'm not gonna say that he's a bad player. He's
Do you
an
have an
amazing
issue with his
player.
daughter as well?
No, I don't. That's fine with me. I don't care. But he was definitely in fantasy leagues this year, the top 1 or 2 pick easily. Okay, and if anybody picked this guy,
Oh,
and
if
he
only the
picked-
person in your league picked him first instead of Anthony Davis.
right, you you picked Anthony Davis,
I
right?
picked Anthony Davis first.
Oh man, are you regretting that right now?
I'm regretting that right now. Anthony Davis is not playing that well. He's playing
Yeah.
okay, but he's not playing that kind of well.
I compared his stats actually to his 2015 stats.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a slight improvement in some areas, and then there's like some drops in certain areas too. So more or less, you haven't gotten a significant improvement from Anthony Davis.
Mm-hmm.
But with this guy, Stephen Curry, man, this guy was MVP last season. He didn't get MVP for the playoffs. He didn't deserve it. LeBron deserved it.
Yeah.
But this year, he's even better than he was last year. Like, is he gonna win Most Improved Player this year as well?
I remember how like just now I was talking about how Scalabrini said that LeBron was like down like 3-2, and then he just like people were heckling him, and then the next game he came in and he just switched something on.
Yeah.
I think I kind of saw that with Curry in they were down 2-1 to like LeBron and a bunch of scrubs like LeBron and Dellavedova, and then like something just switched on in Steph Curry, and then he just started like. And then he just went into a new level. It's like something in his mind just like made sense. He just like stepped up to the next level, and he's still stepping up to the next level right now. I mean, I can't imagine anyone when they go off in the summer and they go like, Coach, how do I add to my game? And then you look at him and you realize that his game is pretty much complete, and the answer is take another 3 steps back from the 3-point line and shoot it from there.
This guy's unstoppable.
Yeah,
like, his range is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean it's.
People are like not even ready to guard him. He's just like he just crosses half court like 2 steps and he takes a shot. I'm like, what the hell? This guy has no range. Like you can't guard him.
Yeah,
you have to like literally
just hope he misses.
It's ridiculous, and like he's averaging 5.2 3-pointers a game right now.
Mm.
Like if he keeps going at this rate, he's gonna smash Ray Allen's 3-point record easily in like maybe 2/3 of the time, I think.
So like when he's what, like 31.
Like, because actually, I looked into this a couple of years ago, and I was
Mhm.
looking at Ray Allen's 3-point record every single year, or
Mhm.
the amount of 3-pointers he gets every single year. At this point in time, in the past couple of years already, like three years, Stephen Curry has already dominated those numbers.
Yeah, he's
I think,
I think since the first year he was here, he was like people understood that he was gonna be like a generational player already.
yeah. I mean, he did have like a couple of ankle injuries early
Mhm.
on in his career, and everyone
Yeah,
was kind of
that
doubting
derailed
him
him.
a
And
bit.
playing with Monte Ellis probably derailed him too because it's I don't think they match well together.
Right. And then, yeah, as soon as he got his health back and his ankles are good now,
Yeah,
I mean, he's just lighting it up. He's on another level right now. He's
yeah.
easily the best player in fantasy ball right now.
I think he could arguably right now be the best player in the NBA. I mean, LeBron is still LeBron, and LeBron is still the ultimate team player where he can make like everyone around him like seem better than they
Hmm.
are. But then from like a pure mechanical basketball player, I'd probably give it to Steph Curry.
Steph Curry.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel
amazing.
like
He got taken seventh in the
I feel
'09
like
draft class. Seventh.
I feel like maybe he's not the best player in the world right now. I would say maybe he's the best scorer. Because
Oh yeah,
I still see him do a lot of stupid shit too,
yeah,
just because they play so high pace, high energy, and when you're going that high, like full throttle all the time, you're bound to make a lot of dumb mistakes. Because
yeah,
some of the ideas you have are just stupid at the time, but you're like, it's the first idea, you have to react quick, you do it, right?
yeah.
But you can definitely see it in the way they play, and they make up for it at the end. Like nobody can keep up with their high pace.
Yeah, it's easy to cover your mistakes, especially on the defensive end, if you have like Draymond Green and Bogut behind you. So that kind of
Draymond Green, that's another guy that I want to talk about. A lot of people passed on him in our fantasy league. Um, he was projected to be drafted in like second round. And I think he fell
true.
a little bit, but I didn't expect him to be doing as good as he was. I thought he was maybe overhyped a little bit just from the like from last
Yeah,
year. He was
yeah.
good. He was good, but like what $80 million for his contract. I was like, come on, he
He's
can't be that.
definitely living up to it.
He's living up to
I
it,
think
man.
he's gonna get at least a. If Golden State doesn't get at least 4 All-Stars this year, I'm gonna be surprised. Somehow, Boston got four All-Stars on their waning Big Three era, and like if Golden State doesn't get at least like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green
Yeah,
into the All Star team, I don't even know who's their starting small forward now. Is it still Harrison Barnes?
I think it is, but he's injured, I think.
No, then who's starting? AD?
Um, I have no idea actually.
Yeah,
Let me check.
I don't think Iggy's gonna make it back to the All Star game. But then like yeah, they need at least Draymond Green, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson in the All Star game, or it's just not gonna make sense.
Yeah, it could be Andre Iguodala or I mean Sean Livingston is pretty versatile in the way he plays too.
Yeah, yeah,
But
but Draymond Green is he's like on any given night he can destroy you in a different way. First of all, good he's a passable catch and shoot 3-point shooter.
yep,
Good. He can defend well. Good. He can block shots. Good. He can rebound. Yes, and he can pass.
yep,
But I guess it's easy to rack up assists when you have Klay Thompson and Steph Curry on the team.
right. I mean, like I said, Steph Curry just hits threes from anywhere, and the other day
Yeah.
Klay Thompson had 10 threes in his game. So
Yeah.
I mean, but I mean, you still got to give it to Draymond. He's a really good player. He definitely proved me wrong.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, he's gonna continue playing. Like you expect him to score double digits, like maybe 12, 13 points a game, but if he gets hot one night, like he can score 20 something easily.
Yeah.
So you can never count him out.
He can
He's definitely
consistently nail down 1 or 2 threes a game. So
yeah.
if he can nail 1 or 2, then he can nail 5.
Yeah, I think Draymond's actually what he's averaging 1.3 3-pointers, 8.5 rebounds, 7 assists, 13 points,
That's a really
1.4
impressive
blocks.
stat line.
1 steal. Yeah,
That's a very
that's
impressive stat line.
he does everything. He
Yeah.
does everything. You can't complain with a guy like him.
Who was the last player who had a stat line similar to him? Like
I would
Batum?
say Batum would be a good comparison. Not as much assists, not as much rebounds, but he has one 3, 1 steal, 1 block, on fairly good percentages too. And I always compared Batum to. I always called him a poor man's Kevin Durant. So
I guess like
Durant,
he's in a Western Conference. I haven't had the chance to like pay much attention to him. I know he played pretty well in his Portland days, was it? Yeah, in his Portland days. But then
and actually even right now in Charlotte, I think he's doing really well. So I have him on one of my teams. I always believe in Batum, Frenchman. Like I think he's good. He's a poor man's Durant. If you couldn't get a good small forward early on, I always go for Batum. But yeah. So Stephen Curry, 32 points, definitely number 1 overall pick. If you were to draft again, would you still?
No, I'm taking Steph Curry now.
Now, where would you pick Anthony Davis? What do you think? 2?
Actually, no. It's like top 5 is probably just a toss up between Curry, Davis, Harden. Okay, good thing I didn't pick up Harden because Harden, I guess, he's had more bad games than good games this year.
He started off slow.
Yeah, he started off really slow. He's been tearing it up like pretty well lately.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I'll probably still pick LeBron. Safe pick.
LeBron?
I think I'd pick LeBron 3.
LeBron 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so I had 3rd pick, and people are ragging on me for my pick because I didn't go for Durant. I didn't go for James Harden. I went for Russell Westbrook.
Westwagon.
And this guy is killing it right now.
Is he actually?
He
is.
I would still pick him over Kevin Durant right now because he gets the same amount of stats as Kevin Durant, and actually he has more potential to get assists as well too.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
When you have Kevin Durant on your team, I mean Kevin Durant is not as good as he used to be, but he's still that viable 3-point threat.
Exactly. He's taken a slightly smaller role. He's more of a scorer now. I mean, back in the day, they did want him to start distributing the ball more, kind of play like a LeBron James point forward style. But I think they just gave up on that.
No, man, just give him the ball, let him go to work.
Yeah, exactly. Let him ISO, let him just dominate people, shoot over them, let him get his rebounds, and then let Russell Westbrook dominate the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, he can still pass when he needs to, right? So he's still getting assists that way, but he doesn't need to be the playmaker, the ball handler. So I think Russell Westbrook's doing pretty good for me right now. My record's not that great. I'm 3-3 right now. But
I haven't checked my fantasy stats in a really long time. I pay attention to box scores, but then I just completely forget that I'm a fantasy team.
I'm playing you this week, actually.
Am I?
Yeah, and our score's pretty even, 5-4.
Wait, me. What's my record right now?
You're also 3-3, so...
I'm also really 3-3? I know I lost the first week. Oh, do you know who's bailing me out? Skinny Curry. I mean, Skinny Lowry.
Skinny Lowry. Oh.
Skinny Lowry.
Yo, when I heard he lost weight, I was like, this guy is gonna be crazy.
They say let's be real. People say he lost weight every single year, and last season, he didn't feel like he lost that much weight.
He didn't.
But this year he lost a lot of weight, and it's like, okay, does it really make that much of a difference? And it does.
It does, and I think he's gonna be an all-star this year again. Do you think?
No doubt. Now the question is DeRozan gonna be an all-star as well?
DeRozan as an all-star in the East.
Okay, first of all, who else are they gonna have over DeRozan in the shooting guard position? Bradley Beal? He's okay.
He's doing pretty good.
I'm a bit biased because they split this last year, but
but they're not gonna pick it based on shooting guard, right? They're just gonna pick as guards.
Yeah, based on guards.
And,
okay, well,
so they could have a John Wall.
Okay, I think John Wall's a lock. Sure. I think John Wall started really slow, but then he picked it up the past few games. I think John Wall's gonna be a lock. Kyle Lowry's gonna be a lock. Who else is a good guard in the East? New York. Derrick Rose? No, Derrick Rose is playing trash this year.
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler's locked. He's probably going to be locked for a starting shooting guard, but I'm not opposed to. Yeah, I just want 2 All-Stars from Toronto for once.
That would be pretty crazy. And then there's also Paul George in the.
Paul George. Well, like, dude, Paul George is definitely going to be considered a forward.
Yeah,
I think he's a starting power forward this year, right?
Yeah, he's playing a lot of big man.
Yeah, I just remember he was butchering a lot of screens because he wasn't used to setting screens for like the small guard.
But his stats are crazy this season too.
Yeah.
I mean, I also picked him in one of my other leagues as well, and everyone was ragging on me for picking Paul George. I'm like, why are you guys hating on Paul George? I don't know why you guys let him fall this far in the first place. And they're like, no, he's injury prone, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, it's not injury.
I don't think he's injury prone.
Like, that's a freak accident.
Yeah,
his
leg. You grow an extra knee, and then, yeah, of course you're going to miss a whole season, but then he's going to come back well rested. Yeah. And now there's no David West, so there's more scoring on him. How's the Pacers' defense?
The defense. I'm not.
I would imagine without David Lee. I mean, David Lee. I don't think he was like ever a super strong defensive presence. David West. Sorry, I don't think it was a very super strong defensive presence, but it'd be easier to.
Right.
He probably guards a little bit better than like Paul George. But then Paul George is a good perimeter defender.
Paul George is a really good defender.
He's a really good perimeter defender, but I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure how good he is in the post. Like post defense.
They don't have any like shot blocking really outside of what they used to have in Roy Hibbert, right?
Yeah, Hibbert's not even there anymore, so it sucks.
Yeah, so I mean, but I think the other guys on the team, they're pretty good defenders individually. Yeah. So they're not doing too bad at all, and Paul George is tearing it up.
Yeah.
He's getting like at least 5 assists, 5 rebounds. I think he's averaging like around three 3-pointers a game. Gets steals, blocks, and so yeah. He's solid. I think he's better than he was before he broke his leg.
I
think it's the opportunity.
Statistically, yes, he is. But then, well, once again, you lost like a lot of scoring threat. I mean, you lost Hibbert, you lost David West, and then and then you lost Lance Stevenson.
Lance, what a terrible choice for him to leave Indiana.
Yeah, okay. Like I think they're a pretty stacked team. Like on paper, their team is really stacked. I guess the synergy just wasn't there, and Lance Stevenson's such a head case. But well, they had their years. They were contenders. I'm gonna say the Pacers were contenders for 1 year, but then
they definitely were.
Unfortunately, as long as LeBron James still exists, and as long as LeBron James is under the age of 35, it's always gonna be LeBron in the finals.
Yeah.
This year might be the year, but. Who else? Who's going to dethrone Cleveland from the East?
The 2 top dogs right now are the Chicago Bulls and the Miami Heat, I would say.
Miami Heat is such a weird thing to see going to the top. Everyone thought they were just left in the dust.
I think they have the best starting 5 on the East, but they don't have a bench.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine if it was Goran Dragic, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Chris Bosh, and Hassan Whiteside?
Yeah, that would be.
That's a championship team right there.
Okay. Okay, let's put it this way. Anytime you have LeBron James in any of the positions, you're an automatic championship team.
That's pretty much true.
But but that team would be pretty stacked.
I mean, the Cavaliers were like the last place team in the league, and he leaves Miami, joins them, and they make it to the finals.
Yeah, it's LeBron James, man.
This is LeBron James, and look at him. Like where was Mo Williams? He was like bouncing off from team to team.
Mo Williams has had 1 All-Star appearance when he was playing with Cleveland. It was because of LeBron James.
And right now, him playing alongside LeBron James, he's pretty good again. Like, he's relevant until Kyrie Irving comes back.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see him on your free agents or waivers or anything like that.
When's Kyrie back?
Apparently, it could be in the next 2 games. So, if you have Kyrie Irving, maybe you want to insert him into the lineup next week.
Watch him play 2 games first. To see where he's at.
I like to take the risk because when it comes to big players like that, I feel like they're not going to come back unless they're ready. Like if you
It's
have,
still hard to get into game shape though.
but he's Kyrie Irving. You
Getting
know?
getting those cardio from Uncle Drew videos.
Right. So I mean, I think he's doing a lot of. He hasn't played a lot of like 5-on-5. I know he's been working out and stuff like that, but people were even thinking that he might come back sooner. It's just
Hmm.
maybe he was just getting back into game shape. I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah.
he's coming, guys. um, well, we were talking about Stephen Curry earlier, and then of course we have to talk about the Golden State win streak as well. They're currently 24-0. It's ridiculous. The longest win streak before this was 15-0. So there's shit on that record.
Wasn't I swear either the Clippers or like the Heat had like a 26 game one?
Yes,
Or
that
it's
was
just that
that
was
was
like
win streak, but this is to start the season.
oh, okay.
To
Damn.
start the season. In the win streak, I think they're actually 3 games in a row, so 3 games or more. So I think it's 27.
Okay. Can they do it? Can they make history? It's like
Um,
I'm gonna root for them until they make history, and then I'm just like whatever. You
well,
can
in
lose.
terms of win streaks in a row, they've already made history there as well too, because it was
Yeah.
22 or 23 before. But
Okay.
I mean, if they're counting last season as well, then they have 3 games on top of the 24, like
Okay.
additional. So that's why it's the 27-0.
The only reason I'll root for Golden State anymore is because I want them to like keep smashing records. Like I don't really okay. I mean, it's I've like seen enough of Steph Curry to stop being like amazed by him. I mean, he's still amazing. He'll still put up numbers, but then like I think the only record worth smashing right now for them is like I don't know 72-10, 73-9 maybe.
My God, you know what? Like the thing about the Warriors is that I want them to keep going strong as well. Of course, same reasons, breaking records and stuff like that. It's always nice to have those kind of accomplishments. I
Yeah,
think sometimes coaches bench players even though they're like close to getting a career high and stuff like that, just because out of it's
yeah,
not necessary. They're winning the game. It's a
yeah.
blowout, whatever, right? But I mean, they're going strong at this, and I want them to keep playing hard so that they can tire themselves out, so that LeBron has a better chance at winning. Like I don't know. I'm a huge LeBron fan.
I'm still trying to decide if there's any team in the East that can dethrone LeBron. I'm pretty much set on Golden State in the finals, and so now it's just who's Golden State gonna decimate, and if
I
LeBron can like summon his Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love hashtag numbers and uh, and do it. I don't know. I think I'm really trying to decide if Cleveland would have stood a better chance if they had Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love last season.
yeah.
But I think they could have. I think they could have. I think they were really close. But we'll have to see.
Um, in terms of that too on the West,
Hmm.
I said it at the beginning, right from the trade when this trade happened actually. Um, when they acquired LaMarcus Aldridge, the Spurs.
Hmm.
When they acquired LaMarcus Aldridge, I thought they were the team to beat from that point on. I still firmly believe that. I think maybe they need to like just play a bit more, get their chemistry better and stuff like that. But
Probably. Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard, he's playing like a beast. Tim Duncan can still perform. Manu Ginobili can still perform. Tony Parker is still
He's not
top.
that old, actually. He's only like 30,
Tony
34.
Parker is very young.
Yeah. People associate him with like Tim Duncan and Ginobili, but then he's like a lot of years younger than either of them.
No, like, and even I think last year he had a couple of games where um, Coach Pop was resting his players again,
Yeah.
and he's like, Coach, like I can play, put me in. Like I'm not that old. So and I think like he's such a crafty player, Tony Parker. I know in some deep leagues people don't have him on his team, and I guess you can blame those kind of things for that, um, not being or not deep leagues, but very shallow leagues, I would say, like six man teams.
Oh,
Some teams, some 6-man leagues, they don't have Tony Parker sitting on the waivers. Like,
To be honest, I wouldn't pick anyone from the Spurs for fantasy league because they're such a team-oriented system that no one ever puts up big numbers on a given night. I mean, if someone scores 20, it's like, whoa.
Kawhi Leonard,
Yeah, well, but then it's Kawhi Leonard. He's like the next guy up, but then,
he's the one guy that you want to have if you're a
yeah,
Spurs.
I think other than Kawhi Leonard, I wouldn't have anyone else from the Spurs.
Kawhi is playing out of his mind right now too. Like when they won the championships and he was given the MVP,
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if he really deserved that MVP, the Finals MVP, or if they're just trying to set him up and boost his confidence or something like that. But this year, when he's playing,
Yeah,
he's
worth it.
he's good, man.
He's good.
Like he's shooting 3-pointers too. He didn't even have that in his game before, and he's averaging like 2 to 3 3-pointers a
Yeah.
game.
Let's be real. The Finals MVP is basically either LeBron James or whoever can stop LeBron the best.
I still think it should have been LeBron James last year.
I think it's gonna be like so lame to award it to the losing party because he's pissed enough that he lost the finals, and it's like, oh yeah, here's a consolation award. Take it and feel a little bit better about the fact that totally Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love just did not deliver at all.
I wouldn't even think of it as a consolation award. It would be like, yo, how many players have actually got the MVP on a losing team? Like I was that damn good that the winning team couldn't get the MVP,
Yeah.
and it's only happened like once before in the NBA.
Okay, but granted, but let's be real. Kawhi played really well against LeBron in the finals,
Yeah, he
and
did.
so did Iggy.
Yeah, he did do well. Like, I mean,
He didn't pad the stat sheet, but he delivered.
right.
Like
I mean,
he was really good.
LeBron was still scoring like 40, 50 points a game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, AI did as much as he could do, but it
Yeah.
still wasn't enough to stop LeBron. You can't stop LeBron.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I mean, the
Oh,
only guy,
yeah.
the only couple of guys that was really good at stopping LeBron James, um, Paul Pierce.
Yeah.
I think Jimmy Butler is really good at guarding him, and Luol Deng as well.
Yeah.
Those three guys, I think, have been really, really good at guarding LeBron. And that's why I always think that Chicago is a threat to the Cleveland Cavaliers, because I think just the way their team is built, it's like an anti-LeBron James team.
Yeah. I think if Derrick Rose got back into form, I think they'd be really good. Unfortunately, Derrick Rose isn't playing so well right now. I feel bad because I picked him up. Derrick Rose my field goal percentage.
It's kind of sad to see Derrick Rose be burdened by these injuries and everything, because he was such a solid player. He was the youngest MVP.
Yeah, he was an MVP, and he got MVP over LeBron James.
Yeah,
And he got MVP over a lot of very competent players, and he was really good that season.
he was.
And I'm just
And
really sad because I really like Derrick Rose.
the way that he plays now is so different from how he used to play. He's not as explosive and everything like that.
Yeah.
And you can tell like he doesn't, when he takes jump shots, he doesn't have legs under him.
Yeah.
He just seems really heavy and everything like that. So I don't know. Hopefully he does come back into MVP shape again. And yeah, there needs to be some better teams in the East. I mean,
Yeah.
Chicago is still one of the top teams, but
Yeah. I'll give him time. I'll give him time.
yeah.
So, but I'm just gonna discount him from going to All-Star game. So seriously, Kyle Lowry's a lock. John Wall's a lock. I'm gonna say Jimmy Butler's a lock. Who else is a lock?
You got LeBron James, of course.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no, but then like for
Yeah,
guards, I'm just debating if DeRozan's gonna make it. I don't think he's gonna get voted in, but
Dwayne Wade.
Can we put him in small forward instead?
Uh,
Is he playing small forward now? He's playing
No,
playing
he's
shooting
playing
guard.
shooting guard.
Because
I think he's too small.
Luol Deng is playing small forward.
Yeah, I think he's too small to play.
I think DeRozan can make it, and they better put him in because it's in freaking Toronto as well. So
I think he can make it. I mean, I think he's like top 10 in scoring or something like that.
first in getting to the line, it's ugly to watch, but it's effective. I didn't catch his stat line today, but he got I know he got 27 points on 8 of 17, I think. Which is
8 of 17, 11 and 12 from the free throw line. 3 rebounds,
what's
1 assist, 2 steals, 1 block. So it's not bad. You want to see those rebounds and assist numbers go up a little bit, but
yeah? I think my ideal DeRozan stat line is like, well, first of all, I'm gonna like hide the field goal percentage. That's well, I'm gonna do that. Then I'm gonna look at does his rebounds and assists add up to 10? So if he's like a 20, 10, and 10 player on a given night, I
yeah,
mean, yeah, no, 25 and 5 player on a given night, I'll be very happy with DeRozan.
yeah,
I'm,
that's
yeah.
I drafted him on. I usually draft him every year I can,
Mhm.
just based on that. I know
Yeah.
he can be a 25-5 player,
Yeah.
but I want to see his 3-pointers go up. Like
Okay,
he,
I'm glad he's not forcing it. I'm glad he's not forcing the 3 pointers. And I think he can hit enough of a 3 pointer in catch and shoot. So like if Lowry does whatever does like Lowry things and he gets it in the corner, then I believe in him hitting it. But then if it's like Steph Curry threes, then no.
yeah, no, he's not gonna be making those kind of crazy 3-pointers. But yeah, I know he did work on his 3-pointer in the past as well too, and like I just want
I
to see
feel
him
like
utilize it a bit more.
I feel like he says he works on his three every season, and like sometimes you look at it and you can definitely tell he's been working on some part of his game. And 3 pointers is like it's a lot better than his like first 3 seasons, but then it's still. I don't trust him to shoot it like Bradley Beal. I don't trust him to shoot it like Klay Thompson or anything like
Right.
that. I mean, it's not a fair comparison, but I just like just if I was doing Casey, I would not design a play to have DeRozan end up with a three.
Who would you rather have shoot a 3?
Kyle Lowry or Terrence Ross.
Terrence Ross? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
even
gonna ask Terrence Ross.
yeah, okay, even Scola is shooting the three better than. But then comparing Scola to DeRozan is completely different because if Scola is a stretch four, then obviously it's going to be better if he can hit the three, and it's like it's not going to be as guarded as hard. But then yeah, I'm not going to design a play around DeRozan getting a three.
Speaking of Toronto, the DeMar DeRozan,
Out. 1-1.
man, do you think he's been living up to his expectations so far with the contract that he got?
I
I
guess.
didn't. I personally never really liked that pickup. Um, I think a lot of the offseason moves that we made, I didn't like at all.
Corey Joseph. I'm gonna go Corey Joseph.
I'm starting to accept him a little bit, but really, come on, the real MVP, Lou Williams. How can you not like that guy? He has 2 girlfriends. Come on. He dates them both at the same time publicly. No shame.
Oh, that's weird.
The real MVP. Come on.
Yeah. Like to be honest, I actually really liked having Corey Joseph because not only is he like a Toronto boy, that's like secondary. He's like a ball safe point guard. So he's like, in my mind, he's like Calderon, but he doesn't shoot as well. Like Calderon is like a very ball safe point guard, and like it's like when Kyle Lowry had the ball. Okay, I trust Kyle Lowry with the ball a lot more now. But then, like, I guess, like, I started watching basketball when it was Calderon as, like, the main point guard, and I really took for granted how safe he was with the ball, and, like, how pretty good his, like, turnover to assist ratio is.
Yes.
And then we saw a little bit of Jared Bayless. We saw a little bit of Jarrett Jack. And then we saw Kyle Lowry. And then you start to appreciate, like, how good Calderon actually is, and if he was good at defense, he would be, like, an all-star, like, hands down. He can shoot well, he can pass well, and he doesn't turn over, and it's just like...
Right.
But yeah, but like if the ball's in Corey Joseph's hand, then I actually feel a lot better. I mean, actually, like even with Vasquez when we had it on the team last year, it's just like I was really scared about like watching Vasquez with the ball because he was just like he was gonna throw it away. With Corey Joseph, I don't feel like he's ever gonna throw it away, except if it's you're down 3 points against Golden State and you inbound the ball and you dribbled off your foot. That's the only time. That's the only stupid mistake I saw like Corey Joseph realistically make.
I mean, he's definitely a great ball player.
Yeah.
I'll support him in that part of basketball, and like I don't know, but as a person, I don't think he's the most intelligent person ever. But I mean, as long as he can play ball, he can play ball, right?
Yeah.
his play style though, you were talking about how it's similar to Jose Calderon in terms of the ball safeness.
Yes, only the ball safety. The rest of it is just like not really.
I think it sounds stupid because he came from that team though, but he seems like to me a mini Tony Parker. Like
Yeah,
his
it's
style of play, like he learned a lot from Parker, from what
definitely
I see.
definitely.
But come on, 7 million for the real MVP. Come on, bring him
Uh,
back. They didn't even offer him like they didn't even
I'm
match.
glad Lou Williams is gone. He's such like he's such a Rudy Gay.
No, I hated Rudy Gay on Toronto. I hated it.
I know. I think at the end of Rudy Gay's tenure in Toronto, he wasn't even trying. It's like, how do you miss a layup like that? I think he's like he's not even trying.
So for like Kyle Lowry, I was super excited when we first announced that we were getting Kyle Lowry to Toronto because I liked watching him play in Houston. I watched
Yeah.
Aaron Brooks and
Kyle
Kyle
Lowry.
Lowry kind of competing against each other, trying to fight for time. And I like both of those point guards as well.
Oh man, what happened to Aaron Brooks?
Ah,
What team
man.
is he on now? He's just bouncing
Patrick,
around.
was it Patrick Beverly that broke his ankle or something? I don't know. Somebody,
Yeah, someone broke his ankle and then it just went downhill. I think he was just
yeah,
like floating on 10-day contracts or something. I feel so bad for him. He was really good.
yeah. I still think that he would make a good point guard playing alongside LeBron James too. Just saying,
Oh,
but
is he on Cleveland now?
no. But I want him see it. I want to see him play alongside LeBron James. Like when he was with Miami, I was really hoping that they would pick
Oh
up Aaron Brooks and get rid of Chalmers.
yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I was a big fan of Kyle Lowry. I was a big fan of the way he plays and everything like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is great. This is going to be so good for Toronto basketball. He fits our system. He's fast paced. He's upbeat, and he's not going to make safe plays like Calderon, which is kind of
Yeah.
it's good, but it's a momentum killer as well. It's a double-edged sword
Yeah.
because like we get hype and everything like that after a crazy dunk by DeRozan or something, and then he slows everything down again. So
That's true.
yeah, I was excited to see Kyle Lowry get picked up,
Mhm.
and then as soon as they announced Rudy Gay, I was like, "What the hell just happened?"
Yeah, it's cool. Like getting Rudy Gay, yeah, that's pretty cool. But then it's just like,
I was like, they can't coexist with each other.
I
It didn't make
didn't
any
I,
sense.
I didn't expect Rudy Gay to coexist with DeRozan at all, and that was just like a weird play. But then if it wasn't for Rudy Gay, we wouldn't have the team we have right now.
I guess so. And the thing is, like, even after they got rid of Rudy Gay, they were like looking to deal Lowry as well too.
Yeah,
And as soon as they did deal Rudy Gay, I was all happy again. I was like, yes, it's Lowry's time. It's Lowry's time. And then they're like, oh no, we're gonna try to trade Lowry and rebuild it. And I'm like, no, don't do it. And then he started lighting it up. I'm like,
yeah.
yes, see, this is what he's made of. So
You
like,
know
yeah,
what really impressed me about like after the Rudy Gay trade? It's like I'm just like still so stuck on that period of time because everyone was like pretty much getting like 5 assists a game. And DeRozan that year, when he like made his only All-Star appearance, he was
yeah,
like 25-5, and that's the thing I'm always referring back to. If DeRozan can average 5 assists a game, I'll be super happy. And he did. He ended the season 25-5. It was really impressive. But then like, and then the season after, he just became like Rudy Gay 2.0. But then Rudy Gay shoots a 3 better than DeRozan, so
he does. But
he does.
I mean, I think DeMar DeRozan last year led the league in getting to the free throw line.
Yeah, but that's not the same as like assists.
I know, but like, you can count on him to carry you in that stat if you're playing
Yeah.
fantasy ball. And then another really good or a surprise this year, I would say, Rajon Rondo from Sacramento Kings.
You know
I think
he always had it in him.
he did, and a lot of people doubted him as well too. I have him. Do I have him on this league? No, I have him
I
on
remember
a different.
someone snatched Rondo from me and I picked. He dropped really far.
In my 12-man league, I picked him in the 10th round. The
Damn.
10th round, and everyone still was like, "Why would you pick Rondo? He's gonna be disastrous." Blah blah blah. I'm like, first of all, I have no point guards. I like disregarded the point guard position until now, and I think that Rondo is still a triple-double threat every single night. And although it's risky because the Sacramento team is
Yeah.
like, you just never know what's gonna happen to Sacramento right now. Like,
Yeah.
I actually thought at the time that he was gonna play really well with
Dallas.
DeMarcus Cousins,
Oh, okay, yeah.
right? So yeah, I took the risk and like it's been paying off. I actually proposed a trade recently. I tried to trade Rajon Rondo for Klay Thompson because I need some 3 pointers. I'm leading the league in assists, so I could lose a little bit of assists,
Okay.
and I can also up some points as well too in steals. Um, so I was trying to do that trade, and I think I don't know. I just ended up vetoing my own trade. The trade got accepted, and then I ended up being the last veto vote on the trade, and the trade didn't go through, and I was kind of happy about it. Like I'm liking Rondo.
Yeah.
So
I think watching Rondo this year, like just keeping track of his highlights, he's been shooting it a lot better. I mean, he's not shooting it from three, but his mid range is a lot more
yeah,
solid this year.
yeah, he's
And
I think yesterday he was like 7 and 10 or something.
yeah, he's slowly expanding his range. Before he was just literally drive and pass,
Yeah, and
and
he's hitting
occasionally a
3 pointers.
dunk. Something well, he had one yesterday.
He won yesterday. That's the first in like 3 years.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I don't know why people slept on Rondo. I mean, there's like a lot like people who are as good as Rondo, but like I'm not gonna pick someone like Aaron Brooks over Rondo.
yeah, and
Yeah,
even watching him play too, you can see that he's happy.
yeah.
Like he's enjoying his time in Sacramento.
I was worried about Sacramento for a bit because you have Rondo with like DeMarcus Cousins, and
And
it's
Rudy
like
Gay.
Rudy Gay. Actually,
It's
no, Rudy Gay would play well with Rondo because at least you know the ball is okay. If you're playing with Rondo, the ball's gonna start in
you
Rondo's
know it's
hand.
gonna come to you.
One, yeah. A, it's gonna start in Rondo's hand, and B, he'll find you. So
Yeah,
that's Rondo for you. So like Rudy Gay won't have to like do what he did in Toronto, where he just like throw him the ball and just run back on defense and let him do his thing.
yeah. I think DeMarcus Cousins realized that too because he started shooting threes this year.
It's weirdest thing ever, but sure, it works for him.
He just started like he's like, oh shit, we got a Rondo. Let's start practicing
Yes,
some
like
three
you start
pointers.
hitting threes, and when DeMarcus Cousins can hit threes, you wonder why DeRozan can't hit threes.
Well, apparently he's been practicing threes for years, and he just never really
Yeah,
implemented it into his game
never
until
got the
this year.
chance to shoot it from a game perspective.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, DeMarcus Cousins has been pretty beast as always. I think he's like one of the top centers in the league for sure.
Yeah, definitely
Uh,
lock for All Star.
right, and the only thing is like the technicals. Like it's always like how many technicals is he gonna get this year? How many games is he gonna get ejected and stuff like that? So that's the downside. Like sometimes when you need him and he's like, oh, he's
Yeah,
missing a game.
yeah,
That's the shitty part about having DeMarcus. But I mean, he can pass as well too. He can block shots. He gets steals. He can shoot free throws. But his field goal percentage is crap this year. It's like shooting low 40%
that's
compared to
what you get
last
for
year.
shooting threes.
Yeah. Man. But he's still a solid producer. I mean,
Mhm.
you can't count him out at all.
Yeah. Is there any
Uh,
other players worth noting?
yeah. So most people probably heard about this already. Al Jefferson with his drugs. Uh,
No. What drugs was he on? I know he's
well,
gone for 5 games, but what drugs was he on?
right. So based on the way that the rules are made in the NBA, he's banned for 5 games. And the only thing that fits into that category, um, in terms of drugs and being banned for 5 games, it's marijuana.
So
So
he
it's
got
not
caught
first
smoking
or
pot,
cigarettes.
and that was it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The way that the rules are written is like the first like they keep it pretty low key. Like
Hmm.
they hire like a third party drug testing company, and the first time you get caught with it, I think it's what is the you get admitted to like some sort of kind of like a rehab program.
Okay.
Because usually they say that they're gonna check you 4 times randomly throughout the year.
Hmm.
Of course, some players maybe they don't get checked all 4 times, but
Some people, they're like huge stoners, or like they might be on something.
well, you always have like guys like
J.R. Smith.
not J.R. Smith. What's the guy? He was drafted by Miami, and he's nowhere now. Michael Beasley.
Oh yeah, Michael Beasley. There we go.
Yeah. But yeah, basically the first time you get caught, um, they keep it quiet. Actually, they don't tell anybody. Like not even the press will know or
Okay.
other teams. I think. So, but then you get submitted to this program where
hmm
instead of just testing you 4 times now, they get test you as many times as they want throughout
Oh
the
yeah, to
game.
make sure you reform.
Exactly. Um, the second time you get caught with it, it's a $25,000 fine.
Damn.
It's just a fine, but they still keep you under the wraps. They don't say anything.
Yeah.
And then on the third one, that's when it goes public, and it's a 5-game suspension. And then he has to come out to apologize, and he's like, "Oh, I want to apologize for my
Or smoking pot.
poor decision." It's like it's not a poor decision; it's poor decisions. Like this is
Yeah.
not the first offense.
So basically, no excuses. So he's a huge stoner. Now we know.
Right. And maybe that's like I don't know. Maybe that had something to do with him quitting like eating Popeyes over the summer or something. But because of that, I mean, he already had ankle injuries, so he's out for a couple of weeks. Um, I think guys to look at in terms of that, Cody Zeller,
Yeah.
Marvin Williams I think he is a
he's still
pretty
around.
mid-round. Yeah, I like Marvin Williams. Like sometimes he could turn it on and he gives you a little bit of everything.
Shows you why he was worth that second pick. Show a
Exactly.
glimpse of that second pick. Who was picked before him?
I have no idea.
It was like 005. Was it Bryant? No. I remember he was second pick, and people were like giving a lot of crap about how he was. It's like Dwight Howard or Bryant.
Marvin Williams. Let's see.
I think it's like Dwight Howard, Bryant, or who was first pick in 06?
05. I think 06 was Bargnani. Andrew Bogut.
Oh, Bogut.
Yeah, it was Andrew Bogut.
Okay, Marvin.
Oh
Williams.
shit!
Marvin
Darren Williams and Chris Paul were picked right after him.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's why he had a lot to live up to.
Damn. But yeah, Marvin Williams, he's solid. He's a solid pickup, I
Yeah.
think. I think the main replacement for the center position is going to be Cody Zeller, though. So if you don't have him, grab him, put him in your lineup. He's not going to score as much as Al Jefferson is going to do because you have Batum, you have
Kemba Walker.
Yeah, you have Kemba Walker.
Oof.
Who's their other guard? They have another guard that's really
Jeremy
good too.
Lin. Well, Jeremy Lin's a backup point guard, but he's playing pretty well too. He plays side by side with Kemba Walker occasionally. I think Kemba Walker could make to the All-Star team.
Kemba Walker?
I think he has a chance.
Not on what is he in? East?
East, yeah. Kemba Walker plays for Charlotte.
No, he won't.
He won't?
No.
I think he has a chance. I think he's...
Against better than D Rose?
Kemba Walker doesn't chuck as hard as D Rose though. I mean D Rose is like atrocious this year. At least Kemba Walker can like put up numbers.
Yeah, but there's still so many guards that are better than him.
Yeah, I just want Lowry and DeRozan to be. I'm a huge homer. There we go.
Yeah, so
I model my basketball game after DeRozan. That's a bad idea.
yeah, so in regards to Al Jefferson, I mean, because of the drug issues and everything like that, if he gets caught again, if he doesn't clean up his act, like shit has to happen. Like I don't know, are they gonna let him go for the team? Maybe it's a good time to sell him high if you can. If people don't know yet, sell him high, get what you can out of it, or do you want to take the risk or and keep him in your lineup?
What's his season average right now?
Al Jefferson. Let's see. He's doing 13.7 points, 1 block, almost 1 steal a game, 1.8 assists, 6.4 rebounds. So he's underperforming by...
Yeah, he's underperformed a lot. Last season he was a beast.
Yeah, and I think it was because of his contract year, right?
Oh yeah, that's true.
So he made his money.
He made his money, now he's smoking pot.
Yeah, so I don't know. If you can, I would say if you can get anything out of Al Jefferson,
yeah, I'd probably
do
sell
what you
him.
can.
I'll probably sell him high, no pun intended.
Yeah, and I mean, if he does end up being as good as he should be, I mean, whatever. You took a risk, right? I don't think it's I think it's good to deal him. Get him out of your get him. Don't let him be your problem.
Yep.
Cody Zeller. I really like Cody Zeller in the way he plays. I think he with the time that he has with Al Jefferson gone, I think he's definitely going to put up some rebound and blocks numbers. So
Okay.
yeah.
Honestly, I've never paid much attention to Cody Zeller. I know he's been on Charlotte, but not quite. Yeah, I haven't paid attention to him at all.
Yeah, he can definitely rebound. He's not a bad free throw shooter either.
Oh, that's good to have.
Yeah, and he'll get you high percentage in field goals as well too. So, yeah, that's the Charlotte podcast.
Cool.
There's no other huge injuries in the league right now. So, I mean, last year was crazy. The year before was crazy. A lot of big names are injured and stuff. But that's pretty much it. Yeah. So, let's see. There was one guy that I wanted to mention as well too, but I can't quite remember.
Let's see if we can find it. I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, everyone's pretty much talked about.
Oh,
all the other players are like doing as what they should be doing. The only guys to keep an eye on is Kyrie Irving.
Next week we can talk about the savior of New York, Porzingis versus Jahlil Okafor versus Karl-Anthony Towns. It's an interesting comparison.
I love these rookies, man.
Oh man, when was the last time you had 3 dominant rookies in the league in a year?
They're really good. I like them.
I mean, I can't think of
they're all big men.
Yeah, other than Anthony Davis, but even in Anthony Davis, he was up against like a bunch of guards. This was like the first year when you get like a bunch of people.
Right.
Okay, you know what impresses me most about Porzingis, he's pretty good. Karl-Anthony Towns can shoot really well, and Okafor has really good footwork. Really good footwork.
The problem with Okafor is that he's not a great free throw shooter.
Yes.
But that's pretty much the only flaw in his game.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Apparently, he's a bonehead.
and Karl-Anthony Towns rebounds, blocks shots.
Yeah. Okay, you know what? Karl-Anthony Towns, he's impressing me because first of all, he's going to get mentored by KG. That's always really good. And second of all, he's putting up numbers next to
Andrew Wiggins,
and who's also putting up numbers.
Yes.
So that's
every time I have to make a decision between Jahlil Okafor and Karl-Anthony Towns on my 6-man league, it's such a hard decision because I'm like.
No, I'm gonna pick Cat. I think Cat has a higher ceiling because he can shoot.
Yeah, I made a mistake once. I put in Okafor. I'm never gonna make that mistake.
Cat all day.
Karl-Anthony Towns.
It's a shame that Rubio hasn't lived up to his expectations because I think Rubio would do really good with those two.
He's still getting a lot of assists. He's making plays, but like he needs to get his shooting on point, man. His shooting is getting worse every year.
Every season, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna work on my shooting." Nope.
He does work on it, but he gets.
Is he the starting guard, like starting one for?
Yes, and Zach LaVine plays behind him, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, even early on in the season, I think it was early season or maybe in the preseason, I was watching a couple of games he was playing, and I was excited because he was taking jump shots, and I was like, hey, I've never seen him shoot like this before. He has some legs in his shot.
Yeah.
And that just all disappeared at the time.
He should learn something from Rondo. If he can't shoot, he should at least do like layups.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for today, I guess.
Yeah.
So
I guess next week we can focus more on other than the things that are happening. I guess we can talk about rookies. That's pretty interesting. I'm pretty intrigued by the rookie class this year.
Yeah, we'll talk about the rookie class. I mean, everyone else is playing up to their expectations and stuff like that. There's nothing.
I guess we can trash talk on people who are not playing up to expectations. Derrick Rose.
Maybe we'll touch up a little bit on Gordon Hayward as well, because we love Gordon Hayward, of course.
He's a rather attractive human being.
Man, Gordon Hayward, he's like DeMar DeRozan.
With a 3-point shot and
he plays League of Legends. Come on, how can you not be a fan?
I guess if if we played Dota instead of League of Legends, we'd be all over Jeremy Lin.
Jeremy Lin. I mean, we're supposed to be over him anyways because he's Asian.
Yeah, because Asian. Oh, I have him in my fantasy league. I like him. I like him.
I used to like him, not gonna lie. I liked him when he was in Golden State.
Yes, I liked him there as well.
I liked him. I was the only one that had him on my lineup.
Yeah, I had a huge infield or hipster complex when people started hopping on the Linsanity wagon. I'm like, guys, you don't even know what school he came from. You don't even know what team he played for before he went to New York. Guys, get out of here.
So true. It's so true. That's exactly what happened because I was saying. Jeremy Lin, I was watching him in the preseason as well too.
Yeah,
I was like,
he was tearing it up.
He
was tearing it up in the summer league.
Yeah, it's like this guy just needs time and like he can work out a good contract or something, right?
And he needs a good system.
Right, and the thing with him is that I knew that he was never going to be a great point guard, but I was like, with the skill set that he has, he could be like what's that guy's name? Is he a point guard?
Which guy?
Starts with an R.
Ramon Sessions.
Ramon Sessions.
Oh, really? I literally just said the random R name.
I was thinking of Ramon Sessions. He's going to be a solid backup point guard for the rest of his career. That's what I was thinking of when I was thinking of...
I think he could be a starting point guard if he was in the right system. I mean, if they were playing really heavy pick and roll and he could be the ball dominant and he had a really good roll man, then he could probably be a good starting point guard. But we'll see. I think he's found a place in Charlotte. We'll just see how he goes.
Yeah, he was doing really well in Golden State. I was excited. But, I mean, at the time that he was there, Monte Ellis and Stephen Curry were getting 40-plus minutes a game.
Yeah.
So he wasn't getting any time at all.
Yeah, there's no way he was going to thrive in Golden State. The only reason they wanted him was because they were Asians. Let's be real.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's pretty much it. And I guess, we'll touch up on the following week. And then some rookies. We'll talk about some rookies.
Okay. So that's it for today.
Yeah, so if you guys liked this, leave a comment below, click the thumbs up, subscribe, and if there's other stuff you want us to talk about, just leave it in the comments below.
All right, cool.
Peace.